to creation, leveraging AI as an entrepreneur or as an edupreneur. I know that a lot of us as educators always desires to be able to, you have ideas. And some of these ideas might range from um, what you want to do as a side hustle or as a side project to what you desire to do in terms of maybe you have a desire to resign or start something on your own. So, as Nigerians, we are not bereft of ideas. There are opportunities, and we try to want to leverage them. And if there is anything that the that technology has made available, especially um, in the more recent time when we've seen the advent of AI, it is that we have been given opportunity to not only able to start things on the side and take it up quite easily, but we've also been given tools to help us. One of the biggest challenges that people have had is how to conceptualize ideas. They have ideas in their mind, um, and they are passionate about it. But one challenge is first being able to conceptualize the idea, um, document it, put flesh around it in terms of a structure, and then knowing that that will be the first step towards being able to execute. And that's one of the reasons why I decided, okay, let's have this class because it's not just about teaching and how to use or leverage technology for teaching. We can also leverage technology for our own benefits and to grow our income. So that's where we will start from. This series is going to be a 4 or 5 part series. So today we'll be focusing on how to validate your ideas, how to also craft your ideas, leveraging AI to craft your ideas, how to compare your ideas with competitors, analyze those competitors, and look for niche and look for edge or look for a pain point. Having an idea is good, but idea is not just about you or for you. It is about meeting a need. So today we'll be looking at steps to take to understand the gaps in the area of your idea. Having in mind that you are not the first person to ever have an idea like that or operate in the space of your idea. So, how do you evaluate people that have gone ahead of you and know the gaps in the solution that they are providing? If there's anything we must know is that a solution always gives rise to a problem you want to solve or is a product or a service is providing a solution to a problem, that product and service is also creating a problem or another challenge of its own. So understanding the gap in your field or the need in that field and being able to wrap your ideas around it is what really matters. It's not just about the ideas. And also knowing the people or the players in your field and knowing how to come in to not just solve the same problem but to provide services and value to people. We'll be looking at that today, and then we'll be looking at after we have created an idea, look at it, evaluate and study the field and the areas of our idea. Then we'll look at developing um, business plan, use leveraging AI to develop business plan, and then we'll move on to creating. If you want to create a website, I'll also show us how with prompts, which is called vibe coding, and the applications to use. You can create immediately a website. You can immediately actually publish that website, uh, and you can leverage AI to compare your website with other operators in that field to be able to leverage on the professionalism of existing website. Then we'll also look at how to create an app, for example, if you your idea requires you to have an app. And then we'll also look at how to generate consistently marketing strategies for your plan. So those are the areas and the things that we would focus on across the coming weeks. So today, the first thing today is we'll look at how do you leverage AI to analyze and work on your ideas. Sorry, I need to turn on more lights. All right, so let me pull up my. I hope you are still able to see my screen. Please let me know if you are not able to see my screen. Are you still able to see my screen? Please
Yes,
indicate it.
yes.
All right.
See your screen.
Um, so I would the way to do this so that we can all learn together is that I would just start with a random idea. Um, so the first thing is some of us might get an idea. We already have an idea. So it's best to have at the back of your mind, what do you want to do? Even if you don't have it all fleshed out, you don't have it all articulated, but having an idea of what you want to do. Sometimes it could be you've investigated and you've seen a very a very important need or gap. So for an educator, it might be that, oh, you've noticed that the Nigerian government has introduced a technology curriculum, for example, and you are beginning to see the need that there are no content out there to to teach those curriculum, and so you have such an idea to be able to create curriculum or create content towards that curriculum. You've spent time and you've seen the difference. Sometimes it might be that, okay, maybe for example, I as a tech coach, I see that, oh, there are teachers, this new curriculum is like just pushing teachers into a new field, and we don't have resources to do that. It could be that, oh, I'm thinking technology classes, but there are no technology in schools. Those are some gaps. How can I do I have the resources to acquire technology and then make it available to schools at a particular fee? Or do I want to have, for example, a mobile technology so that I can maybe I have a mobile tech kit. Maybe I can say I have like 20 or 30 computers, or let's say 50 computers, and I can say, okay, the biggest class size of the school might not be more than 25. So I'll have two mobile stations, and I'll look at schools that are clustered around in an area. Then I'll approach the school, create a business idea where um, this technology will be taken to these schools, and we would structure their classes so that maybe at least one class will have contact with technology in a week, one class a week. And so with that, you can move from schools to schools and have up to 5 schools a week, depending on how huge the school is. But for example, this idea will be tailored towards private and public schools, especially private schools that are that have their own schools, but they do not have the resources to immediately get into buying equipment. So you can structure a partnership with them where you charge them and then they can charge that technology fee to their children, to their parents. So you structure it that way and either get the staff that would also be delivering the content. So you plan a curriculum and you deliver the curriculum. So every class within that school has one technology class. And so, for example, that might be an idea, and that probably might be what we will work with today. Another idea might be that, okay, like for example, I'm an education coach. I have carried out a survey. You can decide you want to carry out a survey, like a survey that I did. So maybe we'll start with that. Um, so I did a survey recently amongst the community, and that survey was focused on wanting to find out what are the needs for educators in the group so that I can tailor trainings and all of that to meet their request. And that is the reason for this mentoring class because when I analyzed the results, there were 250 participants before I turned it off. And when I analyze the results, you would see, if you're seeing my screen, what do you currently do? And then, so you can use this to kind of sample the this the you can sample people or customers in the areas of your need. It could be fellow students, it could be students, it could be parents, just to gauge because it's not enough to have an idea. What if does the question is does that idea meet a need? Need assessment is really very important. Need assessment is very important. So what subject do you teach? What are your biggest challenge in integrating technology in classroom? Let me expand this. So this might be one of the challenges that one of the ways for you to do a research. So I saw that of all the 250 people that responded, 60% of them says lack of device slash resources. So I see that that is a very growing and which is reflective of the teachers within the situation the situation are actually in Nigeria that a lot of people don't have devices and now they are introducing technology courses. Schools don't have devices, teachers don't have devices. So if I decided to, I can create an idea around this need. One, I have passion about teaching. Two, technology is an area that I do well at. And so, what are the advantages? What are some of the things that I can do here? Poor internet access, limited professional training, lack of time to explore, data and privacy. So, I see that here, this is the biggest need: lack of device. Which of the following limits your ability to attend professional development? You can still see that lack of awareness of available opportunity, but the biggest one is cost of training. So that brings me to device and and cost of training. Excuse me. So um, we're already doing a lot in terms of free training in TTC. So that could be an advantage. So I could structure out maybe very, very low end or very low cost training for teachers or free training for teachers. But how do you make money from free training? That's one of the things we also look at. Limited access to device, that is coming up again. What prevents you from fully applying a tech or AI tool after training? Device is also coming up. Now we see that, okay, what are the following training area would you like most valuable? Of all the respondents, we saw that 77% says AI. And this was what led to this mentoring AI class because of the of the 250 people, 77%, that's above 1/4 of it says, of people says um, about three, we are above three-quarter of the people says they want training on AI. So you could use this method to validate the needs because it's not enough to say, I like to make shoes, and then you go and make shoes that people won't buy. It's a waste of your money. So you need to assess your need, know what the needs are, and then you can begin to progress from that. So I can take this thing with the advent of AI now. I can take this entire spreadsheet. This is the form. I can open the spreadsheet. I can take this entire spreadsheet and feed it into AI and tell it to analyze it and give me three top three ideas that meet the most important needs in this survey. And then it can draft out that idea. That is if I don't clearly have an idea, but I see a need and I want to leverage AI to craft an idea for me. Then I can also tell it some of the areas that I want. So whether or not you have an idea, but you are able to see a need, you can leverage AI to use its own ability to craft something for you based on the need that you are seeing. So that's one. Then two is if you have an idea, you have an idea of what you want, but you are not able to assess the need, and neither are you able to articulate that idea. Then you can leverage on AI. So what I'm going to do this morning, we're going to start with the first one. Let's say I do not have a clear-cut idea, but I see a need, and I see a need. Seeing a need and having to be able to meet that need is more powerful than just having an idea that does not meet a need. So we start with I don't have an idea, but I see a need. You see a need either by you taking this survey or by observing. So let's start with I see a need. Then we can also now look at I have an idea and I want to add content to it. So let's start with that this morning. So during our last session, the session before we took 2 weeks break, we looked at AI browsers. Let me AI browsers. Those are very powerful tools. We looked at AI browsers and how powerful they are. If you were not there when we did this, you can you can watch the video. It's on YouTube. So let's start with. So I'm going to use the reason why I want to use an AI browser is because of the power that it has um, in being able to do quite a number of things for you. Let me delete this. So one good AI browser that I introduced during the last session that I had is called Atlas, ChatGPT Atlas. We also look at Perplexity Comet. The benefit of this AI is it can analyze not just what you ask it, but with the AI browser, sorry, is that if you happen to open so many tabs, you can chat with any content, whether a website or YouTube or anything you open on that browser, you can engage AI for it. And you can ask it question, ask it to review, ask it to analyze, and all of it. So those are the very good benefits of AI browser. Let me drag this away. So I'll open a browser. This is it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to open that spreadsheet that sorry, I want to open that spreadsheet that I use in gathering all the surveys that I need. So we'll open that spreadsheet first, and then we can ask it question based on that spreadsheet. So this is the spreadsheet. So I haven't craft out a prompt yet. Again, you can always craft out it. So I am on this spreadsheet. If I see here, you will see ask ChatGPT. So you can click on this and then you can say analyze the responses on this document um, and identify the top 5 needs of educators. So while you type that, you will see it begin to analyze. It will use its own algorithm and its own power to begin to analyze. So I'm starting from a spreadsheet. you can see it's continue to do that. I would open it up here so that you can see how it is doing the work. So you can see it's analyzing and all of that, working on the spreadsheet. This is one way. Another way is you have that idea. You can research it online. You can ask AI, okay, so let's do it side by side. Let's say I have an idea. Can somebody just give us an idea and then we'll prompt it? Can you just give us an idea? You can either speak up or type it or raise your hands. Um, let's say an idea that you've been working with or that you can come up with now so that we can leverage that. So that I don't want to say idea that you are working on so that you don't think somebody will steal your idea. But if you have any idea, that you would like to allow us evaluate. If you do, you can speak up. Otherwise, I will just look for something. All right. So here it has analyzed the needs, top 5 needs of educator, training on using AI tools for teaching, count 193, financial support, opportunity to attend more conferences, access to device software and digital resources. Um, that sums up to be 314. Then regular structured professional development. Then other strong needs worth noting are this. So I use this sheet, or I could open several. I have gone online research, and as I am doing that, I'm opening several tabs, several windows of different um, things that I have researched. So here, this one had already finished, so I can tell it to craft a. Um, I want it to craft an idea uh, from the top.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, you are asking for an idea, right?
Okay, yeah. We can start with that. Okay. Yeah, what's the idea?
Okay, so I've been thinking, yes, I've been thinking of how it's already existing, but how to use um, vocation and technology into the curriculum such that it will be more practical than theoretical.
Okay. All right. So we're going to say, so the Nigerian government has just introduced the teaching of vocational, right? What did you say? Vocational. Can you come again?
And tech,
Vocational
vocational and tech.
in primary courses, in primary and secondary classes. Um, so, um, so this Nigerian government has just introduced the teaching. Sorry. Mhm, uh, vocational and technology courses or subjects. I guess we subject.
That's integrating it into the curriculum.
Yeah. Yes. Subjects or curriculum. Let's just say. I just introduced the teaching of vocational and technology in primary. They need to uh, find a better way to integrate it into the curriculum, craft, or evaluate top 5 ways to um, in a more practical way. So you can actually tell AI how to craft how to craft a prompt that will give an idea from this if you don't already have a prompt worked out. So let's take that approach. So let's say this: you are a you are an entrepreneur seeking to come up with an idea on how to do this. Um, craft a prompt to extract an AI platform. The prompt should include the following. All right. The prompt should include the following. One, uh, do a deep research on other service provider in this area. All right. Two, do a market analysis to understand the needs, uh, analyze 5 top uh, businesses doing the same thing, then uh, find a need or a gap in their models, and then we find a niche. Let us say find a niche and uh, craft an idea on the top of the top 3 niches. All right, so I'm asking it to craft a prompt. So it will craft that prompt. Uh, Here is a prompt to say to feed into an AI to help you develop an entrepreneurial idea for integrating vocational technology teaching into primary school. So you read through this prompt. If there is anything you need to add, you can add it to it. So we'll copy this prompt directly, but I would want to first finish up this. So we'll copy this prompt and we'll use another tool, which is where we will focus on in this session, going forward in this session. So let's come back to the first one, top 5 educators. So it has, so I can ask you to, I can, this is, this is the new chart. So I'm just going to copy one prompt here. So for this one, it has given us um, 5. So I can ask it to analyze the response and come up with 3 business ideas that is viable to set up a business. So it will do that analysis again. Want you to look at come up with three different ideas that can give us um, a business that has a niche. So the first one is AI power lesson design and curriculum. This is it. Then a low cost edtech device library, rental, leasing, and access. I think there's a company in Nigeria that is doing this and it's called uh, GAM Nigeria. So um, you can want to leverage and compare the gap and the pain points of using GAM and see how you can structure theirs. I think I've looked at them. They lease, they borrow devices to people. You want to do one of their adverts that I saw actually is that you want to do a CBT, why buy the devices when you can just borrow it, do your CBT, do your stuff, and then leave. And so their own is that you come to them. Is a pull situation. And if I am going to create a market around this, my idea would be to push to the school and say, no, rather than you come, what I would do is I would just give us a space. We will put and you look for schools that have the needs. Give us a space. We'll put the devices in your school at a fee. We'll set up your lab for you at a fee, and then so that we can also gain more income and not depend on you, we'll say that you should, on one condition, we would open the lab up to the community, not just to your students. So we can begin to have trainings at the weekends, training after school, training during holidays for the community. And what I mean by community, we'll open it to students outside that, and everything that comes from that will be mostly, we can have a sharing formula that we will take 80%, the school will take 20%. That is an additional income for the school, and the school has access to technology that they can use within their class. We can also provide expertise in terms of teachers to teach them. We're doing the same thing but different approach. And ours will meet more needs because we have more schools that might not be able to rent. And we're saying you have a lab, all we need from you is provide us lab, and the percentage that we will take in terms of the dealings will also be dependent on some things. If you provide electricity, you get more percentage. If you provide internet, you get more percentage. But if we bring the device, provide solar or inverter to back it up, and then provide internet, then your percentage will drop. And so all of that might be an idea. Actually, this is some of the areas that I'm also looking at. So you can look for companies that are your rival and then see how you can analyze, which is what we will do for the next idea. So he gave us affordable certificate accelerator hub, training plus exam voucher, which to some extent TTC is doing. And then these are the three best business ideas that he brought. So we can now, together with what we've just done on this other one, we'll now look at. You can select one now, so I can still select this one and say, okay, I want this one, low cost design, tech. No, which one was that? No, not affordable. Is it low cost? Uh, and again, I can also another alternative to this low cost edtech device library could be that I can call my own, like I say, mobile tech access hub. Um, so if I don't want to put it in the school, I can get 5 schools where we move around the schools once a week, and their students are able to get access to technology. Actually, one of the company that I partner with, my friend and I, we have we were doing NAFOA schools, 4 schools, and all those 4 schools have 900 students. So we have 2 staff once a week that goes to this school to teach them um, robotics and coding. They take our devices there. In fact, in one of them, we set up a lab with desktops. And so we send people there once a week, and they teach every class one period of coding and robotics a week. In schools, in one of the schools that is large, they go twice, and so every class has at least one period a week. So that's an idea around the mobile one. And there are four schools, three in Abuja, one in Kaduna, and we have a couple of staff that just go around doing that. And so what made it easy was that we dropped the fee because it's now a game of number. You have 900 students per term, we're charging like 5,000. So times that by 900 students. And so having such opportunities, and it's a game of numbers, you are also able to drop down the fee accordingly. So these are all ways you can leverage those ideas. But today is just about learning how to craft those ideas. So I can take one like this and then put it. And so it gave me a niche advantage. No one is offering a teacher-focused tech rental program in your region. You create the Netflix of classroom devices. So this is focused on teachers, but let's say I want to make this focused on schools. So I can copy this again and paste it into another chat and ask it to come up with a prompt that I can use to give AI to uh, craft a prompt that I can use. I can use the
Hello,
same
sir.
phrase. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking, is there any of the ideas that combines both the vocational and the tech, or is it just the tech?
No, no, I'm opening, we worked on two ideas. One is the one that I use the survey. So this is the one for the survey. We'll go through the one that you gave that I asked for a prompt. So we worked on the prompt. Remember, we worked on the prompt. So I will get the prompt and then we'll use it in AI. Where is it? So we'll get the prompt. Yours was a prompt, not the idea. So we'll take these two into the next tool that I want to use. This is the tool you will use to synthesize all of those ideas, engage it more, and come up with something solid. And so that's where we'll end this session this week. So I will get your prompt and we'll use. So this one I'm showing us using ChatGPT or a Gemini or any AI. How do you um, get an idea or get a prompt? So that's what I've just shown. From my end, I have gotten an idea because I have a source of survey that I have used to analyze and gotten a need. But if, like the example we just did with you, if you do not have an idea, you just have an area or you just have you have something in your mind and you've not been able to add flesh to it, then you can leverage AI to give you that prompt. Let's look for that one that we use. I hope we've not removed it. Uh, this is GAM. Sorry. The one that we did, I hope I've not override it. This is my data one. What happened? Did oh, shoot. Oh, the one that you and I did about vocation, I think I override it. Um, the one that gave us that prompt. Oh, shoot. We'll do that again. Yeah. Oh, this is not a good thing. So, all right, let me open another one. I'll just oh, let me see if it is there. Oh, okay. Craft. Okay, so I'll just say you are an entrepreneur. in education. Mm, craft a prompt that will be used with an AI platform to create an idea around the the practical integration of vocational and technology courses in primary and secondary curriculum. The prompt should include the following. I didn't want to prepare all these prompts so that we can see the steps. I could prepare it and just be copying and pasting, but I think although that will save more time, but we will not be able to get into the act of doing it. So we analyze 5 top competitors in this field and to uh, compare come on, the gaps in their processes. 3, uh, list the top 3 needs and niche. And 4, um, create cloud. Generate 3 ideas based on the top need of create. Alright, so let's keep this. The benefit or the way to do this would be probably to always name the stuff when it comes here. So you're an entrepreneur, so I'll copy this prompt. I'll just copy this prompt. And he said, if you like, I can draft a fill out version of your prompt with dummy competitor names, gap needs, and that. Uh, so I don't need that. So we have these two. Let me not remove it. The next thing we want to do is we want to leverage Notebook LM. Um, Again, as I mentioned, if you do your research and you are using a browser and you have multiple tabs, you can actually tell ChatGPT to aggregate. So let's say you open one tab for one business, you know your competitors, there are 4 of them. You open their website, you can ask ChatGPT to analyze each of the websites, like we just did with my spreadsheet. You open the website and then you click on Ask ChatGPT, analyze the website based on this, their business flow, their model, their need, and the gap. So you have 5 of them. You can copy all of that and put it into the next tool called Notebook LM. So that's one way you can use Notebook LM. You use a browser or an AI platform to do to do your research and copy its end product into Notebook LM. So today we're going to be using Notebook LM. So let me quickly move on to Notebook LM. It's one of the tools that is very powerful for you to use. Um, we've had a session on how to use it and how to connect to it. It's free. It's from Google. If you've not been part of those training, you can research them. Or you can watch them on the YouTube channel. So first of all, is we'll create a notebook. When you create a notebook, you can discover sources. So discover sources means you don't have the source. And so the first place we'll start on this, we'll create 2 notebooks actually, is to craft the prompt that we crafted for one of the participants' vocational ideas. We'll copy that prompt. I don't have I have a very faint idea. I asked ChatGPT to craft me a prompt that I can use to uh, generate the list of things that I have decided for my ideas. So I come into Notebook LM. Remember, I do not have a source. I don't have competitors, but I want it to do uh, that for me. So I'll click on Discover Sources. Um, this is if you do not have a source. If you have a source, you can add your sources, and I'll show us how to do that. So I'm copying this and I am pasting here. So you say find sources from the web or from Google Drive. So if you have documents in your Google Drive, you can leverage that, but I do not. So I want it to find sources from the internet. Now, I'm not limiting it to Nigeria so that I can create that niche that is global because I want to also go global. You could limit it to Nigeria if you want. And so I'll tell it submit. So it will start looking for sources. And once it finishes, it's going to be looking at sources based on your prompt. And so it sees driving sustainable growth through strategic edtech platform benchmarking. It means you can quickly just skim through. If you want to actually open the source, you can click on this arrow and the source will open in another tab. If you want to validate and see where it's taking all those things from, you can see all those sources, but I really don't. Then now is I'm going to import my sources in. So I'm importing my sources in. But let's say I do have my source. And again, I can also still add sources here. I can add sources. I could add YouTube videos. I could add a text that I can copy from somewhere and paste. I could also still add specific website links that I can add. So these are all ways that you can add sources. For the free account, you can add up to 50 sources. All right, so now for her idea, it has given me 5 or 10 sources. Then I can begin to chat with it. So remember the prompt. What was the prompt? The prompt was uh, this analyze 5 top competitors, identify gaps based on your competitors analysis using top this. So that's the prompt. This provided text collectively address various aspects of education and skill development across different sections. So I can now ask you to uh, analyze. I can select which source I want it to analyze or which source I do not want it to analyze. So this one came up with an error. The source is not there, or maybe it's behind a firewall, a non-AI crawling firewall, because some website can block AI from crawling through them and getting data directly. So I'm going to remove that source. Uh, so I'm left with 9 sources. So I can say analyze all these sources, these top 5 ideas. So all of the things that I did with ChatGPT just now, I'm doing it. But now I have gathered sources and I have put them in here. In terms of, I want to introduce 2 tools that will also help us do some of these things in terms of getting sources and importing sources. Um, so let's say, for example, I have a good example. I am in, let's say I look for um, business analytics. Let's just say I have this channel. I open this channel, and this channel has a whole lot of videos that I want to analyze. Sometimes your idea might be you like the way somebody is doing things on a YouTube channel, but instead of watching all the YouTube, you want to gather all the links of the YouTube and analyze them at once. How do you do that? Or you have a lot of links on a website. You open a browser and you have so many links that you've researched. And then you want to collectively take all these sources into um, notebook LM for analysis. That's where we would round up. How doing that is where we'll round up today. In the next week, we'll continue with the process of analyzing and getting all of this analysis through um, notebook LM. So I have all of these ideas. It has given me all of this. We would not continue further here so that I can demonstrate these two very helpful tools, and then we'll continue next week on building the idea. So we know that today we focused on collecting all the data for your ideas and putting them in one place, generating prompts and all of that into the ideas. So I have this site, but first of all, I would open another notebook. So this is the global trend in education technology. I can rename it and call it, uh, so we'll continue from here. I'll call it vocation tech. All right. So I want to create another idea, another um, this, and let's say I have all my sources online. I've already opened all my sources, which is like this website. Let's just open another website, tech it, and then I'll open it. Sorry. Let's say I just open this, then I'll open tech feature learning for example. So we have a lot of, I'll open so many links here. I'll just open so many links. So I'm doing my research on what is the learning pod. And I have so many links here. So I've opened all my sources. So for Notebook LM, it could be that I am going to be copying this link one by one and putting them into Notebook LM, but I don't want to do that. So we'll focus on the two tools that will allow us able to copy multiple links and push them into Notebook LM for further analysis that we will continue next week. So I have this channel. It has a whole bunch of videos. A good use case of this is you like somebody, you have a mentor, and that mentor has a YouTube channel. You love all that he does, and you want to get advice from him rather than paying to go and see him. You can copy all the links of his videos, put it in an AI, and then begin to ask your question. And based on everything that that person has done, because he's poured his life into his videos, his advice, and everything into that video, you'll be able to get exactly what you would have gotten when you meet him physically. So those are some of a lot of use cases. Maybe you have a YouTube presenter that you like the way he presents, and you like how he does and structures his YouTube videos. You can copy all his links and use this method to craft out and get yourself mentored in the way that he structures his YouTube videos and all of that. So a lot of things that you are not able to do quickly on your own, you can leverage all of these tools. So I'll just be throwing in a few use cases then. All right, so the tool you want to use are two plugins. One of it is called Grabit, and the other is Notebook LM Exporter. So Grabit allows you to export out links from a window on a tab, all the links in that window, it will copy it for you, and then or all the links in a YouTube channel. So we'll do the practice for the two YouTube channel and all of the links that we have just opened here. When we push it into the into Notebook LM, then we can begin to round up. I'll just take some questions, and then next week we would continue with that. All right. In some of our lessons, we've looked at how to get extensions. So you just go to, if you are using Chrome browser or Brave browser. So Chrome and Brave browser are almost similar. I use Brave. I also use Chrome. You just go to Chrome Web Store. All right. We're going to Chrome Web Store. And what we're looking for is extension. So the first extension we're looking for is called Grabbit. Grabbit. Grabbit is the first extension we're looking at. And so you can see what this extension does. We'll practicalize it. So I'm going to add it to Brave. If you are using a Chrome, you will just say add it to Chrome and you will add it. That's the first one that we would add. So once you add an extension to Brave or to Chrome, the extension will show up here. And so this is the extension icon. What I want to do is I want to pin it so that the extension is always here, like this too. I'll go here and I'll look for it. Grab it. Okay, look at it. Then I'm going to pin it. So when I pin it, it's permanently at the top here. The next one I want to look for is called, you can just type notebook exporter. So notebook LM exporter. There are a lot of them. One that I have used before, let's look for it as in something something sync if I'm not mistaken. Let me get the proper name. So I have it on my, in practicing it, I have it on my, okay, it's called WebSync. Notebook LM WebSync. In practicing this, I had it on my Chrome. So let's go back to Google. So it's called WebSync. There are other ones, but this is the one that I have used. What did we call it again? Okay, I just look for WebSync. Notebook LM WebSync full site exporter. And all you need to do is just click on it. Yeah, this is the icon. It's like a rectangle, a square with opposing arrows. And then I'll add it to Brave. Okay, so Grabbit would help us gather all our links at once. And then the same thing, I will go here, look for it, and then I'll pin it. So I have those two at the top here. Now, the next thing is we want to now use it. So for Grabbit, you have to, especially if you are going to use it on YouTube, you have to do some setup. So you see copy selected URL. So you have some, let's say I am on this page. I can click on it and copy the link for this page. Or I can copy a link of all that I have in the tab from URL list or from current site. From URL list, extract all the URLs, and then it will do that. For Grabbit, so Grabbit is what we're looking at. Copy selected tab URL or copy all tab URL. So all of the tabs that I have here, I can copy their URL at once. So I'm going to do that. I'll copy this. So it has copied 15 URLs is what it has copied. Then I can go to my notebook LM that we just opened. Where is it? Okay, so this is my untitled notebook LM. Then I can click on website. Then I paste all the websites. So all 15, I paste them. I think there are some errors. I can insert 0. There's an invalid link. There's a link that is invalid. But this way, you're able to copy all of this link and copy and paste it. That's for that. But before we do that, another thing is you can copy all this link and click on open, and it will open them in another browser. Select it. So these are 3 options. But before you proceed, you can also set up something that would allow you do the next thing I want us to do. So with this link, you can copy all the URLs directly on your browser. And then the next one is you open that and you add a new action. So what I want to do is that I want to select an action. I want to create an action that allows me copy. So you select an action and say, okay, when I left click my, okay, if you like left click or right click, that's fine. But I like left click. So when I left click, I want you to, and I'm going to use two keys. I'm going to use shift or option. So use shift. I mean, when I click on shift on my computer and I left click, then something will happen. I want it my selection to be green. I want to select a color that allows me identify that I'm selecting an icon. And then what do I want you to do? I want you to copy all the URLs into a clipboard. So I'll save. So that is my action. So now let's go to the YouTube option. I go to YouTube. I remember it is left click, shift, and left click. Shift and left click. So let me refresh so that the stop now. So you see, shift and left click. Remember, I said the color is green. Okay, let's change the color again. So we grab it. So this is my action. You go to grab it again. You just click on it. This is my action. I'll change the color to, let's say, yellow. All right. Then let's refresh the screen. Shift, left click, says yellow. So as I copy, you see 6 URL. I go down. You see I have copied 68 URLs. When you release your key, those 68 URLs have been copied. Then the next thing you need to do is now I can go to my notebook LM, that same notebook LM. We use this, we remember we use grab it. Now we want to use the notebook LM sync. I click on that notebook LM sync. Let me just open it again. What's happening my keyboard now? Okay, so notebook LM website just open and you can see my vocation and tech. And then because I'm logged in into my account, it will also see all my notebooks. So before we go, let's just name this notebook. Let me see if we have. Okay, this is the test three. So let's name this notebook as. I'm just going to call this notebook YouTube Mentor, for example. So I'm calling this notebook YouTube Mentor. Right, so that's my notebook. Now I click on the web sync and you can see, I can see my notebook mentor. Let's say I am out of it. Let me just be out of it so that you see that it's not a function of whether I'm in that notebook or not. So notebook mentor is where I want to import. So I go here and then I paste all the 60 something YouTube channel. Okay, this is it took the this one is for the links, all the links that I copied at first. These are all the links that I copied at first. Let's put that link there. Okay, so let me change. So these are for the 16 links that I first copied at first, and then I'll extract them. When I click on extract, let's see if it is working in the background. No, it's a mentor. And this, I select YouTube mentor, then I paste, then I extract. Okay. All right, I think I have two notebook LMs linked inside. Oh, okay. Let me remove this too. Experience. Mm, yeah, that's, let me use from say this is Chrome. I'll look for YouTube mentor. Copy and paste. I'll take this two away. Let's see. Okay. So I switched over to Pro, so it's loading it. So if I go back to this, now I refresh it. Let's put this again. Yes. Mm. Mm. How's this one? YouTube mentor. This again. Let me let me copy. Let me just copy these three links here. Yeah, we can look at why it's not working. I'll grab these three links. I'll copy all the links on this URL. There are three of them. And I will go here, YouTube mentor. Let's copy and paste the links. I'll import the, okay, so I think there's an issue with those three links, with those all of those links. So I've copied those three links. Let me go back to my YouTube. You see, in my YouTube mentor, those three links are there. So let me reduce some of the links I have here and copy a few of them again. We'll come back to this YouTube channel later on. Let me just reduce the link, and then I'll do the same thing here. Grab, copy the links. Let me remove the notebook element too. Copy the links. Um, grab, copy all the links in the tab, and then I'll go to Web Sync, select the same YouTube mentor, and then paste the links. Let's extract. Oh, still, this one may work still. All right. I think there's something wrong with some of the links. Oh, new tab. Okay. Go new tab. Remove this last one. So if I open I would see the three links. One of it is bad, so I can remove it. Um, so this is one way that you can leverage this tool to copy multiple links. Unfortunately, I didn't test all of these links. We're doing it on the fly, so some of them are causing some of the challenge. But next week, when we want to do this for the real two case studies we have, well, I will have tested all the links before coming to the class, so we can leverage that. Let me try it again one more time. See, let me close this graphic link. I'll try it again one more time if it will work with this. I copy this URL, five of them, and then go here to again, paste the five links, do the same thing. All right, let's do the YouTube one from here. So I'll select, let's just say, again, I say mentorship. This is where we probably would. I say I like this guy. I have, then I can I can do the same process. I want to copy a few of his video. You see it's saying 2 URL, 3 URL, 4 URL, 5 URL. So I have 35 URLs and then I copy that. So we go here again and then input mentorship. Oh, so these are all YouTube channels that I have done import. So I'm importing 34. So all of these go straight into that app and I'm able to begin to leverage on that. So let's come here and go back to the notebook element. And you see my YouTube mentor. You see all of the YouTube videos. A few of them are it's still loading. A few of them are bad. And then you can always remove some of them that are bad. But let's go here. Okay, so for 34 pages, import 34 sources. And immediately open the YouTube channel, YouTube, and then so out of the 64 YouTubes that I took, just if 34 of them came up. So you have all of these sources, and you can continue to engage with them however you want. But for the sake of this, it's going to be that we're engaging this as a source of all our research in terms of. So you could do this for your business that you're trying to build, or you could do this for any other thing you want to do, as many as the use cases that you want to. Maybe you're an educator, you want to teach on a topic, you can get several YouTube links for this topic and use the grab it to grab the links on your tab, put it in your notebook element, and synthesize all the ideas from the various speakers on that list um, into one lesson plan or lesson notes. And the same thing you can do for your business. So today I'll just do a summary of what we'll try to cover today. What we tried to cover today was to use AI browser first of all in for two use cases. One, um, we have so one is that we have a survey that we did based on the to assess some need, and then we put that survey into ChatGPT and ask it to analyze to come up with the five top um, needs of educators and to craft up ideas based on those five tops. And then it gave us five top ideas. From that, we selected one and put it into ChatGPT again and asked it to prompt um, how to use AI to decide to create an engagement around that. The second option was that we have a business idea, but we don't know how to articulate it. So we just gave an AI that this is our business idea, this is Nigerian curriculum, free, blah, blah, blah. Can you craft a prompt that would allow AI to develop a business plan and then analyze top five competitors, come up with gap, list three top niche and needs, generate three ideas based on the top need. So it gave us that craft. Having done those two, then we moved to Notebook LM, uh, where we would eventually now synthesize all of these ideas. So we have the vocational tech, which is that we gave Notebook LM the prompt that we've gotten from um, ChatGPT to allow it analyze top 10 organizations that are doing vocational and technology services. And then we will, starting from next week, begin to engage with that to craft a very well polished ideas, business plan, and content. If you want to write a proposal, if you want to write a pitch deck, you are thinking of presenting your ideas, um, we will look into that next week. Business plan, presenting your ideas, and how to fine tune every of our engagements with the resources that we've already put together on the vocational tech. Then next week also, we're going to just run with these two ideas. Next week also, we'll continue with the one that I had, with the one that I was talking about, which is the what's it? The see what's the five, based on the analysis of the survey. We're looking at another idea, which is inclusive digital lab, uh, which we would also put into Notebook LM, synthesize. At the end of next week, we'll have two ideas that will have worked on business plan, presentation, and all of that. Then we'll go further in the following week to look at building, whether it's an application for this inclusive tech lab. It could be an application to allow people go online and sign up, or it could be a website. For the vocational, we'll look at setting up a training website, because and training and resource generation website for both of the two. Then we'll go further to seeing how we can market, create social media marketing strategy for all of this business, and see how we can leverage AI tools to design, to also craft a an a persona for your business, because that's very necessary to have a brand. So we'll create a brand, and then we'll tailor all our social media posts and content around our brand style. So we're going to go from end to end, and I trust God that it would help us to really make something good out of this. The videos will be available after every session. Before the end of the weekend, the video will be posted. So I'll just stop sharing my screen here, and then we can take a few questions before we call it a day for tonight. Again, thank you all for joining. I really appreciate this. Do we have any question? Yeah, your microphones are on, so if you have questions, you can proceed. All right, if there are no questions, okay, so I'm the one that is. Okay, if there are no questions, we'll just round up today and call it a day. Thank you again for joining. This will be posted in the YouTube channel once we're ready, and then you can go ahead and watch them and rewatch them. I would advise us to start practicing some of this so that we can come back
Thank you,
next
sir.
week with some questions, and then see how those questions can get answered. Um, all right, so we've used 1 hour, 30 minutes. That's fine. All right, thank you, everyone. Do have a wonderful weekend, and hope to see you next week.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah.